Hello, everyone. I am honestly shocked that I managed to find the time to do anything. Um, I've been working on my final project pretty significantly for the past few days for one of my classes that I've been having a lot of trouble with. Um, but what I wanted to do was react to some of the content that's been coming out for a lot of the different fandoms that I am a fan of. And the first one, of course, is the Persona 3 Remake trailer. Um, this one came out a significant amount of time, I think about 10 days ago. Yeah, right there, 10 days at the Xbox showcase. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen it. In case you don't know, I'm a huge fan of Persona. My first Persona game was OG Persona 5. So I got into the series a little bit later than most people, around 2017. And after I finished Persona 5, I fell in love with the series. I played Persona 3 FES on my PS3 through the little emulated version that they released there. I played Persona 4 Golden on my Vita. I actually bought a PS Vita so I could play Persona 4 Golden. I mean, you guys saw if you watched my playtime guessing video, you saw I have in total across P5 original and royal, I have about 669 hours logged in that game. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go through the trailer and I'm going to try and break it down essentially to see what we have here. So we're going to do full screen. So the thing that interests me right off the bat is the fact that they're going with like kind of a screen motif at the start of the trailer. And if you look in the Japanese trailer, they do the same thing where it's underwater, and you can see a TV screen rising through the water before it goes to the actual footage, which is an interesting choice because usually when you think of TV screens, you think of Persona 4 because the TV is a huge aspect of the theming and the story of Persona 4. So the fact that they went with kind of a mixture of both a TV vibe and the water vibe is interesting. The water vibe makes a little bit more sense because I haven't really actually looked up the meaning in Japanese culture, but I know in a lot of times when people have seen the trailer, they kind of think of, you know, the association with water probably has something to do with the fact that, you know, it can be associated with depression, like this kind of like crushing anxiety, but the water can also be very serene, you know, very calming. And the central theme of Persona 3 is, you know, nothing lasts forever. And the choice we have is either to let that motivate us because we don't have a lot of time, or break us because we don't have a lot of time. And I feel like the idea of the ocean kind of connects to that a little bit. So let's see what else. Made in Unreal Engine. All right, so we start with the shot of Aigis on the pier when she and Makoto first meet, which is, I believe, in game in July, if I remember correctly. What is interesting about this for me is the fact that it's not animated anymore. It's not an anime cutscene like it was in the original. They're using Aegis's in-game model. Yeah, they're using her 3D in-game. She looks really great, by the way. Um, they're using her in-game 3D model. They fixed her neck also. They shortened it because in the original, let me just look it up real quick. Aegis Persona. Yeah, if you look, Aegis's neck is a little bit longer in the original Persona 3. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's super long in the original, but I think it has something to do with the fact that she has the bow right here. We don't see the bow on here, which, I mean, it's possible that she's going to have it on later, which I think actually she starts out with just the dress to cover up the robot body, and then she gets the bow later, actually, if I'm remembering correctly. But you see this, and then another point later on in the trailer where they show the first full moon, and it's also in game instead of animated, which is interesting. So let's just go ahead. Okay, so gameplay. So we're looking at the UI right here. So obviously they introduced a brand new UI. They have the water theme up here, weekday. So I'm guessing it's gonna say weekday, weekend, holiday, full moon. And then they have the phase of the moon right here, which is a really cool touch. They added the objective marker so that you actually know what to do. A mini map, which is honestly, I'm super thankful for that, because I had so much trouble when I first played Persona 3. I had so much trouble finding my way around Gekkoukan High because it honestly has a really confusing layout. At least in my opinion, it does. So the fact that they fixed that with the mini map is really, really a cool thing. You can see the main entrance right there. So Makoto is, of course, in the main hall. You can see the student bulletin board over here where we first find out where our class is. 4-7, so it's still early on in the game. Let me just see. I'm pretty sure 4-7 is actually the first day. Calendar, I believe, is the first day where you start the game. Yep. April 7th, Tuesday. Yep, so this is the first day of the game when Makoto first arrives on Tatsumi Port and gets to Gekkoukan High. So this must be the lockers that are right in the front of the school. And then you see NPCs, which I'm also super thankful for. And if you look... Okay, let me just hold on. Let me just go back real quick. I thought for sure I saw him phasing through... Let me just turn the sound off. Okay, so I thought I saw him phasing through the students, but I'm sure he's going to because that's something that's carrying over from Persona 5, where you have a lot of NPCs on the footpaths in major areas, but you don't run into them like you do in like Yakuza, for example. Instead, you just kind of phase through them, which I think is a really good choice. So let's just go ahead. Okay, so we have homeroom. Obviously, we got Miss Toriumi. New sprite. She looks a lot better than she did in the original. And then we have Yukari and Junpei over here. It looks like we got a couple of new sprites as well, because I don't remember there being a blonde student in the homeroom class. I might be misremembering. And it looks like we have the log, auto. Yeah, we got log, auto, and fast forward down here. And then we still have the phase. Okay, so this is later on. So this is not immediately afterwards. This is 5/25, Monday. So this is after the first full moon, I believe. Yep, so the first full moon is on April 9th, Thursday, April 9th. That's when the protagonist awakens to Orpheus. So if we have 5/25, so that would be... So we're doing base Persona 3 because they said... I was planning on talking about this later, but the creators of the reload of the remaster said that Persona 3 Reload is going to be an adaptation of the original version of Persona 3. So they're going to integrate aspects from Persona FES, which I'm guessing probably has something to do with like they're going to put Aigis' social link in the game because she's such a popular character. And they have stated that they want to integrate some hangout events so that you have time to spend with the male members of SEES since they don't have social links in the original version of Persona 3 or Persona 3 Festival. So if we do May, May 25th. Okay, so May 25th, that would be after we meet Shinjiro for the first time, which is the first of May, Friday the 1st of May. And after midterms. So it would be after midterms and after Akihiko first joins us. So it would be right here on Monday the 25th, which is, I think, after the second full moon. Yeah, it's after the second full moon because the second full moon is on May 9th, Saturday, May 9th. So this date is happening after we meet Shinjiro for the first time, after we get Akihiko on our main party, but they're still only showing us, they actually did a really smart thing of only showing us Makoto, Yukari, and Junpei, and they're not showing us any of the other main cast members. We saw a couple supporting characters. We saw Igor, and I believe we get a brief shot of Elizabeth later on, if I remember correctly. And then they also show Kenji, Kurosawa, and I believe that's it. I don't think they show anybody else. Which, by the way, I have the sound turned off, but the music is incredible. I'm not sure if the song they're playing was in the original or if it's a remaster of an existing song or if it's a completely new song. I wouldn't be surprised if they made new music. The music in Persona has always been triple A grade, top tier. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made more. So let's see. Okay, so now we're jumping back in time to 4-7. So this is I do like Junpei's new sprite, personally. I know a lot of people aren't huge fans of how he looks. I personally don't mind. I think he looks fine. He's a little pale. I'm trying to remember what is this? Oh, are they actually adding Akechi? And I haven't been paying attention actually to Persona 5 Tactica, but it looks like they're going to add Sumire and Akechi to Tactica. That would be really cool. But okay, so yeah, I think Junpei, I'm pretty sure he looks almost the same. He just got an upgrade in terms of visuals. I like his character model. And we did jump back in time. So we went from 4-7 to 525, and now we're back to 4-7. So this is the first day again. So this must be when Makoto and Junpei first meet each other. You can see him introducing himself down there. Okay. This is really cool. I think if you look closely, I'm wondering if this is supposed to be the Gourmet King or if this is just like a random NPC, because his cheeks look kind of like more full. And you know, the Gourmet King has like that, the head shape is kind of like rounded because he's a little bit chunkier. I'm actually surprised that they're putting him in the game. And I'm also surprised that they're putting Kenji in the game, which yeah, there he is right there. He somehow even looks more like a fuckboy than he does in the original. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I might have when I did my Persona characters tier list. I think, did I do that? Hold on, my dog is crying. Give me a second. I gotta go grab him. Yep, here he is, my whiny old man baby. He hates being by himself. Absolutely hates it. Which, I get it. I am also not a huge fan of being on my own. So I guess I'm just going to have to hold him like this for the rest of the video. Which, hey, you get to see my dog. So, 422. So this is... Oh, I love you too, buddy. So 422 Wednesday. So this is after the start of the game. 422. Yeah, so this is down here. That's interesting, though. Is that when we start Kenji's social link in the original? I can't remember. It's after Junpei joins. Okay. So this is after we first go to Tartarus. But they did make Kenji look, I guess, slightly better. I've never been a huge fan of Kenji. He's probably one of my least favorite characters in Persona 3. But if they want to maintain the original, I guess that's fine. One thing I do like, I love the look of Gekko High. It looks great. Okay, so now that I'm getting a better look at this guy, I don't think it's the Remake King. I'm pretty sure it's just a random NPC. And I love the fact that they moved the camera up. Because one thing that always bothered me about Persona 3, both in portable and in the original versions, was the fact that the camera was always like, it looked like you were in the sky looking down at the characters, and it felt very claustrophobic, in my opinion. So the fact that you can now look up is a really cool thing, like see the sky and everything. Also, 5:15 Friday, so it's also past the first day. So 5:15, that would be right about here. So that would be, wait. Oh, no, no, no. May. So 5:15 May. So that'd be all the way over here after the second full moon operation. Okay, so this is super cool. Your health most powerful. Figure out this phrase, put it in there. So this is also much later on. 6:26 Friday in the evening. Yukari looks so good. I mean, I know a lot of people are upset about Junpei's sprite, and yeah, he doesn't look great, but you know, he looks fine, in my opinion. But Yukari looks incredible. Her character sprite is so crisp, and I think this might be like a hangout event, if I'm remembering correctly based on the interviews they did. This might be one of the hangout events. Are you gonna stop licking my freaking hand? You just gonna do that the whole time? All right, I guess you're just gonna have to deal with the sound of him licking my hand. My hand is gonna smell like fucking dog spit later. So this is one of the hangout events that they were talking about. Yeah, I don't remember any of this from the social links. Also, we get a good look at the main lobby of the C's dormitory, which is super cool. Same day, 6:26, which would be June 6:26. Wow, that's way further. That's past. So by that point, both Fuka's joined C's by that point, and Mitsuru is part of our main battle party. So that's way further on in the game. Yukari looks great, like I said. It's super cool we get to see the C's dormitory. And I'm excited for the hangout events, honestly. So it looks like they're going to be aspects for both the male and female social links, or we're going to get social links with our female party members and hangout events, which, you know. Okay, so now we get to see Polonia Mall. Very cool. A lot more NPCs all over the place. So we got Escapade, we got Chagall Cafe, Be Blue, yep, we got Kurosawa's weapon shop, the club here in the back. You can't really see the empty, so 422, so that's later in April. So the door to the Velvet Room should be back here, but I guess it's kind of a bad angle, so it's kind of hard to see it. No, it doesn't look like it's, well, it's maybe, it's an early trailer, so they might not have added it yet. Yeah, and then we see Kenji. Oh boy, we get to see Kenji. Everybody's favorite. Okay, so we got this guy over here. Yep, absolutely, when I play this game, I'm either going to be as mean to Kenji as I possibly can, or I'm just going to ignore him. Oh, nice. Okay, so we get to see Kurosawa. He looks super cool. The UI, people have pointed it out. It looks a lot like the UI from EYE's shop in Persona 5. And it looks like these are weapons for Yukari, which is super cool. But it also might. Okay, I love you, but I need you to stop licking me. So it might be that we are not going to get the chance to have multiple weapons for the protagonist, which isn't a huge deal personally for me. I usually always use short swords for the protagonist anyway. Okay, so I believe somebody translated the wording in the Persona 3 Reload launch trailer. Trailer word meaning. Latin, yeah. So it says, a dark hour while I breathe, I hope to be reborn. I breathe again. Ah, okay. Okay, cool. That makes a lot of sense. Dark hour, be reborn. Yeah, that fits. That fits. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This is very clearly the first full moon where the protagonist awakens to Orpheus. And just like just like at the start when we saw Aegis, that was an animated cutscene in the original. In this, it seems like this is also going to be using the in-game engine. As opposed to being animated, it's using the models for the characters, and it's a 3D cutscene instead of being an animated cutscene, which is cool. Super cool. And then we see the very first shadow we ever fought in Persona 3, and it looks terrifying. Okay. And now we get to see some of the battle. All right, so this is, wow, this is way later in the game. So this is 9:10. This is all the way in, like I said, there you go, dark hour, and it's green instead of blue. So there's 24. Did they have 24? The count up on. Well, I guess if it's 4-7, this is before you're introduced to the concept of the dark hour, so you wouldn't know the count. And then over here, scrub a little bit. Okay, so we've got, so we're on floor 123, which is pretty freaking high. We've got the dark hour up here, so 24 days until the next full moon, which if we're, sorry, give me a second. I told you he's a whiny baby. All right. Go ahead. Get out of here. Yeah, he's a big baby. All right. So, like I was saying, we're on floor 123, and we're in the Zaya block, which I believe is the fourth. So we're all the way in September. Yeah. So this is, so if we're in the Zaya block and it's September 10th, then this is the day that the Zaya block opens. We have Makoto, Junpei, and Yukari over here. Yukari's hair color looks slightly different. Is it just me, or was her hair always this like red? She looks more like reddish brown, whereas in the original her hair looked more brown. Maybe it's just because the colors are more like, vibrant, or maybe it's just a shading on her portrait. I like the fact that they basically just took the original battle portraits and gave them an HD upgrade. The coloring for the health is different, blue and yellow, which I believe in the original it was a different color. I know it was. I think it was green. Battle portraits. That's cute. Yeah, so I believe this is so it was like an orange and blue. Is that correct? Orange and blue, really? Okay, cool. Um, so orange and blue. So they kind of switched it actually. Now blue is the health color, or maybe it's like a greenish blue and then yellow. But I digress. So we're on the Zaya block, which opens on September 10th. It's 24 days until the dark hour. It is the dark hour right now. So if this is the 10th of September, then this is after we get Shinjiro, because Shinjiro joins on September 2nd. So Shinjiro is a party member at this point in the game. And if it's 24 days until the October 4th full moon, which is, without spoilers, probably one of, if not the most important full moon in the entire game because of what happens during that full moon. I'm curious to see how they're going to handle that scene on October 4th. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. Um, I'm just interested to see what all the other cast members are going to look like. Because at this point in the game, we have all of our party members. Shinjiro is the last person to join, and he joins on September 2nd. So we have all of our party members at this point, and they're just still showing Makoto, Junpei, and Yukari, which I mentioned it earlier, but I think I went off on a different tangent. I feel like they're saving the reveals of the other party members for later in the year, because if I counted correctly, there are 7 full moons left in real life, in our actual real full moons in 2023. Yeah, so it's June 3rd. The next one is on July 3rd. Then August 1st, August 30th, September 29th, October 28th, November 27th, and December 26th. So that would be, if I'm counting correctly, that would be the 7 other party members, right? Because it's Makoto, Junpei, Yukari, Akihiko, Mitsuru, Fuka, Aigis, Ken, Koro, and Shinji. Yeah. And if you take the 3 we've already seen, that leaves 7 party members. So if they wanted, they could reveal a party member every month until the end of 2023. And then we'd move into 2024, which is the year the game comes out. But it's interesting they're showing this part of Tartarus. They've said they're going to make Tartarus look a lot bigger, which I am excited about. I'm glad they're improving the look of Tartarus because it always was kind of boring in terms of visuals. And it also looks like... Okay, so we got the UI here. I do like the fact that we don't have to deal with the super, cumbersome wheel anymore. I realize that's part of the game, but it was always my least favorite part of playing the original versions of Persona 3. I like the fact that it, just like in 5, you can immediately press one of these buttons and just immediately activate your attack, your guard, your persona. They have the analysis down here. Okay, so the tactics is still intact. Okay, so one thing that I'm super glad about that is obvious just from this picture is the fact that our party members are controllable, which is the number one thing that I hated the most about Persona 3 Festival. I think that game is personally a better game than Persona 3 Portable, but whenever I go back and play Persona 3, I always go with Portable instead of Festival because I can't control my party in Fest. And I am one of those people who is incredibly controlling and OCD. So when I play a JRPG with party members like this, I need to be able to control all of them. I cannot let the AI control them for me because I am convinced that the AI is going to mess up everything. So I'm so glad they're letting you control your party members. That's obvious by the fact that in this shot, you're controlling Yukari instead of Makoto. So it would make sense if you couldn't control all the party members, which I'm super excited about. Um, so it looks like that was the regular Yukari attack with the arrow. Yep, just her regular. You can see her evoker on her thigh right there. Um, and that would most likely be the critical hit for Makoto with his short sword. So, okay. So this is another thing. This pause menu is gorgeous. It looks so good. Um, Clearly they're trying to emulate Persona 5, because in Persona 5 you have a similar thing. It's red. The protagonist, Akira, comes out of nowhere and like slaps his hand against the screen, and all of the stuff shows up. With this one, it's a very similar thing with the water splashing, and you can actually see if you look over onto the side, on the right side over here, you can actually see the character portraits falling down in. And I think if you look closely, you can also see the words for the thing falling as well. Okay, so we're still on Zaya block, and it looks like whenever the protagonist pauses the game, and he has the short sword again, Junpei with his big two-handed katana and Yukari with the bow and arrow. Classic weapons, makes total sense. The layout of the Zaya block does look different. It does look a lot more interesting than it did in the original game. I know because I played the Zaya block a lot because I wanted to get as much mileage out of Shinjiro as a party member as I possibly could because of reasons. um so yeah, you can see him falling, the effects of the water, the words fall into place. You can see the portraits falling in like they're being dropped, and it looks, I mean, the pause menu looks incredible. It really does. The artwork for the protagonist looks great. Okay, so now we get a shot of our main man Igor. Um I'm actually excited to see like a high definition Igor with the classic voice, because I first played Persona 5 and I didn't think anything of Igor's voice being low pitched. I didn't realize that was supposed to be like a culture shock thing because I played P5 first, but Igor's voice is supposed to be high pitched. So it's going to be interesting to see a HD Igor with a high pitched voice. And we can see a 2-card fusion. Yeah. There she is. All right. So we see, wow, Igor looks even scarier than usual. So there's Liz. I wasn't sure if we could see her or not. I thought the first time I watched this that she was off to the side and they wanted to hide her. But there she is. She looks really good. And she's got the Persona Compendium in her hand. Super, super cool. And we can see that, Jack Frost. We can see our boy Jack Frost. Nice. Very cool. I feel like they did that on purpose because I know people love Jack Frost. So putting him in the trailer, smart. Very smart. Ho, hee ho, I'm Jack Frost. Yep. And then, so we already know what that means. We looked it up. Okay, so, yeah, hold on. We got to see that again. Okay, yeah. So you can tell by the eyes. There's something that I think they're trying to do is establish like blue energy as the aesthetic for Persona Awakenings. Because if you look in Persona 5, and I'm not sure if this is present in 3 or 4, I'm pretty sure it isn't, but in 5, whenever the protagonists awaken their persona for the first time, they're covered in like blue flame. And whenever they summon it in the game, you can see like a ring of like blue energy coming up around them and their persona. And you can see the Persona 2 also is clothed in like blue energy. So it's interesting that his eyes are light blue. So I'm assuming they're going to use that aesthetic in this game as well, because you actually don't see in this earlier part when they're fighting, you don't see them summon their personas at all. You see Makoto attack the enemy, you see Yukari's basic hit animation, you see Makoto's critical hit animation, and that's it. That's it for the combat. We don't see any persona summoning yet, but I am excited to see it. Okay. Yep. And this is the moment when Makoto awakens to Orpheus, obviously. And then, yep, there he is. HD Orpheus. Oh, okay, so here we go. Here we go. So, oh, awesome. So they do show us Persona combat. All right, that shot. Holy shit. Yeah, see? Yep, there you go. You can see the blue energy around Makoto right here. You can see it in the sky around Orpheus. Yeah. So they are going to do the blue energy aesthetic. Okay, so yep. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. Right there. So you can see Orpheus using like a base level like Augie spell. You can see his attack animation of him like bling, stringing the harp. Looks great. And yeah, just like I said, you can see the blue energy around Makoto's the base of his feet, and Orpheus has like a blue energy around his entire character model. So let's see that again. Hold on. Let's see that one more time. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. And it, of course, it does like, yep, the weak. So that was like a critical hit for Makoto. And the blocks, I'm not exactly sure what the blocks are meant to mean. Oh, it just clicked. Arca block, Saya block. I'm not sure if that's the connection they were going for, but the fact that they're using blocks and the blocks of Tartarus, that's probably what the connection they were going for. It might not be, but it would be an interesting connection if it was. And then, of course, we see the dark hour moon, and this shot, it evokes for me, it makes me think of the final fight against Nyx. That might not be what they're going for. It might just be like a reference to the full moon. But you never really know. And then we have our title, of course, P3 Reload. With the blue. Beautiful. Yep. Early 2024. Fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. And we know now that it's going to be on, we got our cover art of the protagonist, and we know it's going to be on Xbox and PlayStation. So it's going to be on both and PC. But I'm pretty sure they confirmed recently that it's not going to be on Switch. Let's see. Google. Let's see. Persona 3 Reload. Switch. Okay, so it doesn't have any confirmation yet. Okay, so we actually don't know yet. All right, so that was the launch trailer. So let's check out the Japanese version of the commercial real quick. Let's check this one out. Okay. Okay, so we start out in here. I'm guessing this is meant to be like possibly a reference to the facility that blew up, the tragedy that led to the death of Yukari's dad. I'm not really sure what any of this is meant to reference personally, because you don't really get like a lot of water imagery in the original Persona 3. And again, like I said, you don't get a lot of TV imagery either. TV imagery is very much meant to be like, well, maybe it's not a TV though. Maybe it's meant to be like an, it looks, actually now that I'm looking at it closer, it looks like an old like dialogue, like a computer screen, like a really thick computer screen. So maybe it's a reference to the message that Yukari's dad gives to her. Let me just turn on the sound real quick. Huh. Okay. Yep, and then they go back up to the water. So I think, if I remember correctly, recently somebody might have suggested that the dialogue spoken at the start of that is the message that Yukari's dad leaves for her. I believe, let's see. Okay, so this might be the same, yeah, the same one, but with a dub. Excellent. Okay. Reaches somebody with, okay, yep. Never have been conceived. Yeah, okay. So that's confirmation then that the message at the start is Yukari's dad's message. The recording that we see for the recording that Yukari listens to later on in the game. And then we see Aigis again, looking great. I love the model, looks great. Yep, Aigis looking very good. They had to show Aigis right at the start because the Persona developers love her, and I get it. So as of right now, the only characters we've seen are part of the main cast are Makoto, Junpei, Yukari, and Aigis. And Aigis, we've only seen like a couple of seconds of her. We haven't seen her in game. We haven't really seen any of her battle mechanics yet. I'm guessing she's gonna be the same. I'm not sure if they're gonna integrate Orgia mode into the game again or not. Let's watch this though. Okay, so that's a new shot of the first full moon shadow putting his hand on the roof. That's also a couple of new shots of Makoto's first awakening. Yep, that's a new shot of him doing the evoker for the first time. Ah, interesting. And the animated cutscene where we get introduced to Igor. Okay, cool. So we get to see. Okay, so one of the main halls, also on 4-7. Okay, so first day, and then we get to see. Oh, very cool. Right, so this is the 2-level mall. I'm not remembering what it's called right now. Why am I blanking? What is the name of the mall again? I can't believe I'm blanking on this right now. Wild Duck Burger? Why am I... Is it Iwatodai Station? Is that what it is? The Iwatodai Station Mall? Or is that some... That's a different place, right? Oh, okay, so we get to see the shrine. Very nice. So you can see the fortune-telling thing up here is still there. All right. And you can see the Wild Duck Burger. We don't get to see the bookstore, though. I would have liked to have seen the bookstore. I think they didn't do that, though, because they don't want us to see Bunkichi and his wife yet. Oh, cool. Okay, another shot of the Dark Hour Moon. Very nice. Ah, and an animated version of... Very cool. Of Tartarus rising up. That's interesting. Okay. Ooh, okay. So new shots of Tartarus. Hold on. Okay, so this is 524. So this would probably be the second block. If we're in late May, then this is probably block 2 or 3. I can't read the Japanese, so I don't really know. Um, oh, that's interesting. Hold on. It looks like he's sprinting. Like we have a sprint mechanic. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. So this is late April, so this is probably block 1. Okay, so we get to see the critical hit animation again. Very cool. And we actually, that's a cool detail that we can see the reflection of both Makoto and the shadow and the attack after effect in the floor. That is very cool. Okay. So that was the critical hit animation. Okay, so this is a cutscene of Aegis. And it's not an in-game cutscene either, it's animated. That's very interesting. So it looks like a lot of the cutscenes are going to be a mixture of both in-game models and animated cutscenes, which is an interesting choice. Let's see. Okay, so the words are all still there. The Awakening of Orpheus. Okay, so that looks like that's all of it for now. And then we get a very cool animated, very nice. All right. Okay. Let's see if we have any more trailers that we might have missed. So we've got the... What is this? Okay, so this looks like the same trailer. Yeah, this looks like the same trailer we just watched. That's the original launch trailer. Okay, so... wow, this video aged really well. 3 years ago. Good job. Well done. Okay, so let's check out the Persona 3 Reload website. Persona 3 Reload. Also, the fact that they're calling it Reload, and you use a gun to summon your persona, that's not lost on me. So let's see. All right, let's give it a second. Let's close some of these. Very cool. Oh, that's super cool. I like that graphic a lot. Okay, so we got the trailer. Ooh, screenshots. Very cool. Okay. So now we have the same, it looks like the same battle that we saw from Yukari's perspective in the first trailer, but now we get to see what the perspective of Makoto is, which is super cool. Excuse me. Okay, so this... I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Junpei's critical hit animation. Either way, super cool. Really enjoying that. Very cool shot of Makoto looking terrifying. And then we have, okay, him summoning Orpheus. All right. And this, again, more animated stuff. So we are going to get in-game and animated cutscenes. Okay, so this is second day of school after we meet Junpei for the first time. Ah, here we go. Iwatodai Station. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So that other area is called something else that I can't remember. I'm blanking on it. But we got Iwatodai Station. Looks great. Is that Ken? No, that's not Ken. I think that might be just like a random kid NPC. And then we got the school questions. Very cool. New art for Makoto. Yukari's new art looks great. Very cool. Pivotal game, cutting edge graphics. Yep. New scenes, character interactions, and additional voiceovers. So that brings me to the voiceovers. So I am not sure if you guys saw. You probably did if you've been in the Persona realm for the past few weeks, but they have recast all of the main characters. I'm pretty sure the Japanese cast is the same, which is great because that means we're going to get to hear Kazuya Nakai as Shinjiro again, which I love. Um, but I'm pretty sure the English voice actors are all completely new, which is interesting. Alex Lee, I have seen him before. I've been playing Street Fighter 6 recently. So I know he's been, yep, he was the voice of Luke. He's going to be in Master Detective Archives. Vinland Saga, very cool. Yeah, I'm completely fine with all of this. He's the voice of Zenitsu. Oh, he's in Lost Judgment. Cool. I haven't actually gotten a chance to play that yet. But Alex Lee, solid choice. Pretty sure he's going to voice Ryoji as well, because in the original version of Persona, in the original version of Persona 3 Festival and Portable, well, not the FemC route of Portable, but in the male route of Portable, Ryoji is voiced by the same actor who voices the protagonist, who is Yuri Lowenthal. So I'm pretty sure Alex Lee is also going to voice Ryoji. Heather Gonzalez. Okay. Mineru in Tears of the Kingdom. JoJo. Okay. All right. She's been in a couple of things. Super cool. Her is Yukari. Now Zeno Robinson. Okay. So these two, Allegra Clark as Mitsuru and Zeno Robinson as Junpei. Those were the two where I thought to myself, all right, the remake is going to be fine because Zeno Robinson is incredible. I already know some of the stuff he's been in. DJ, Fagato, yep. Yep. Where is it? Where's the husband? Where is he? There he is. Yep. The voice of Hawks, the voice of Genya. Yeah. I'm not worried at all about Junpei. Zeno Robinson's going to kill it. Allegra Clark also been in like hundreds and hundreds of things. Dorothea, Shamir, Maki. Yeah. Yeah. Mitsuru is in good hands. Not worried about that one. For this one, now, I have not played Lost Judgment. So I do not know what the range of Justice Slocum is. And the only reason that I am slightly worried is because Shinjiro is my favorite character in Persona 3. Like, without question. And one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. And I'm really hoping that Justice Slocum kills it in this role. Because if I'm looking at this, the only games he's been in are Like a Dragon, Street Fighter 6, and Lost Judgment. And in these two, he did additional voices, and the only major role he's had so far is in Lost Judgment. So I'm hoping that this role as Shinjiro in P3 Reload is his chance to prove himself. And I want him to crush it in this role. I want him to succeed because I love Shinjiro. And I want him to do so well that this boosts his career and helps him get into a bunch of other stuff after this game comes out. Like, people hear Justice Slocum's Shinjiro and they're like, wow, he's incredible. We need to cast him in this and this and this. I want that to happen because I love Shinjiro and I want Justice Slocum to succeed. I want him to be incredible in the role as Shinjiro. So I actually want to Tetsuro Kuromazaki. I want to look it up and see what that character sounds like because I want to hear Tetsuro Kuromazaki. Did I misspell it? I think I misspelled it. Lost Judgment. Yeah, Kuru, not Kuro. Okay. Let's see. Do they have any samples of his voice? Because I would like to hear what he sounds like at the very least. Justice Slocum. Yeah, let me hear. I would like to hear his voice if I could. Can I not? They don't have any recordings of him anywhere. Okay. I would like to hear a sample of his... I mean, I'm going to play the Judgment games eventually. So I guess I'll hear him when I play that game. But like I said, Justice, I am rooting for you, my dude. I love Shinjiro, and I want you to kill it. I want this to be your defining role that boosts you into stardom. I want you to crush this, and I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. Please give it your all, because Shinjiro is one of the best characters in Persona. One of the best. And I'm rooting for you, bud. I really am. I really, really am. I want him to kill it as Shinjiro. Justine Lee, don't even have a picture for her. She's only done 2 roles. I have no idea. The president from Nagatoro? All right, let's do Miss President from Nagatoro. Miss President Nagatoro. Dub. And this is going to be the voice of Ken.
So why are you back?
Where I go is my concern, and right now my concern is helping you. I understand you've been training for the upcoming school judo tournament. Now then, are you prepared to begin your rigorous training?
Okay. I'm sure she's probably gonna change the pitch of her voice to be higher since Ken is like a kid. But that was solid. I liked what I heard. I almost said I liked what I sounded. What the fuck am I even saying? Alejandro Saab. Now he does sound familiar. Okay. Yep. Yuri. Okay. All right. At first, Kaigaku. Okay. Putting my fears to rest. He's been in quite a lot of stuff. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, I saw a video and really treble. Dang. Okay. He's got a lot of range. All right. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Very cool. If I'm remembering correctly, isn't Alejandro Saab, isn't he Sayu? The VTuber that hangs out with... Isn't he the VTuber? Yep. The VTuber that hangs out with Monarch all the time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah. Okay. Akihiko's fine. Yeah. Who's left? Okay, so Fuka and Aegis. Aegis, Dawn Bennett. Okay, I don't recognize any of these characters yet. Oh, Setsuna. Okay. Let's look her up actually. Dawn Bennett. I would actually like to hear.
I promised you, didn't I? By your side. Always.
I don't see the value in sacrificing lives that we might have been able to save. How does that make you any different from the nobles who just throw mercenary lives to the wind?
Do not
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on.
use those words again, I warn. For I know a seed of trouble left alone
Yeah.
will
With this one, Yuri from Near Reincarnation, I can. Okay, like, close your eyes for a second. Close your eyes and put the original voice actress's voice out of your mind and just imagine Igus is talking to you right now.
not use those words again, I warn. For I
Right? I can absolutely hear it. That's actually, yeah, that's completely Dawn Bennett. I think she's gonna kill it as Igus. And then Susie Yang. Really? Mimi? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, never mind. she's gonna kill it. She's gonna be fine. She's the dub voice for Makima. Yeah. It's squashed. Fuka is gonna be fine. If she has enough range to play Makima, we're good. We're good. Honestly, overall, this whole cast, now that I'm looking at this, I feel a lot better. Yeah, actually, it looks like I'm pretty sure Akira Ishida, didn't he voice Makoto in the original version as well? Did they? Hold on. Makoto Yuki. Baba Booey. Yeah. Okay, so the voice actors for the original Japanese version are coming back for Reload. All right, that's cool. And like I said, we're gonna be able to see Kazuya Nakai as Shinjiro again, which is awesome. But I think that's everything. The only thing that I can think of is the fact that they talked about the one thing that is a sticking point for me right now for Persona 3 Reload is the fact that they are not going to include any of the content from so the players, the creators of the game have confirmed that Reload is not going to include the Femc. So Katone is not going to be in the game. Her route is not going to be in the game. We're not going to get any male social links. They did have said that they are adding in hangout events so that you can spend more time with the male characters, which is great because I want to spend as much time with Shinjiro as I possibly can. And they're not including the answer either. But they have said that they're including aspects from Fest that were not present in the original Persona 3. So I'm guessing that has to do with like Igus's social link, probably some modifications to the battle system. But, you know, even though it might not be good, even though it might feel kind of like, I guess not scummy, but kind of weird to not include that stuff, I do kind of get why they're not going to. And in retrospect, it makes more sense why they chose Persona 3 Portable to port over to modern consoles as opposed to Festival, because they were doing it preemptively as an apology to people who like the female protagonist. Like, here she is on modern consoles. Sorry, she's not going to be in the remake. And honestly, I would not be at all surprised if in like mid to late 2024 they release like a DLC for the answer, or if like in 2025, a year after the Reload remake comes out, they announce, "Oh, here comes P3 Reload Full Eclipse Edition. now including the female protagonists throughout. I would not be surprised at all if they do that, because as good as the Persona games are, Atlus's business practices have not been the best in the past. You know, they've done re-releases with extra content of the entire games since Persona 3's original version came out. They released Fest and Portable, then, you know, they had all the spin-offs with Persona 4 and then 4 Golden, 5 Royal, and now they're milking Persona 5. I don't have any opinion on it. Personally, I prefer the mainline games the best, and I've always considered like Festival to be the definitive version of 3. Persona 4 Golden is the definitive version of 4, and P5 Royal is the definitive version of 5. So the upgraded ports of the mainline games have always been the definitive versions of the games for me personally. So if they include aspects of Festival and add the answer later on, then I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like, I like Katone, but I can live without her being in the game. Does it suck? Yeah, of course it does. But it's not a huge loss for me. Would I like to see her be integrated into the game eventually in some way? Yeah, obviously. You know, I love her character. I have a freaking keychain of her. I have a freaking keychain of Katone. So clearly I like her character, but I'm not opposed to the way that they're setting up the game right now. So let's just look Persona 3 Reload news. Is that everything? Yeah, the new cast, the Switch rumors. Yep. The fact that the answer and Portable is not going to be included, the announced trailers. I think that's everything, if I remember correctly. Let's check the Megaten wiki. Yeah, so UI, yep. New music, new animated cutscenes. Yeah, there you go. Original scenes have been remade in 3D. Japanese voices are being recorded from scratch. New English voice cast. New side stories separate from social links. Yeah, so I'm assuming that's going to be for the male confidants who don't have social links. Tartarus has been changed. Good. Skills have been changed. All social links are fully voiced. That's super cool. Yep, there you go. The protagonist can dash while exploring dungeons. The condition system. That's something I didn't mention yet. The fact that they removed the fatigue system from the game. Other than the fact that you couldn't control your party members in the original version, the fatigue system was the other thing about P3 original that I despised. And I'm so glad they got rid of the fatigue system. Dashing, class questions have been changed. Yeah, I think that's everything. They took out the female protagonist in the answer, made from scratch. Yeah, I think that's everything for now. Melee attacks. Yep. Cool. Very cool. All right, well, I think that's it for now. So yeah, I've been talking for a long time, and I didn't even manage to get to the One Piece live action trailer. I would like to take a look at it, but it's not mandatory, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So I guess if you guys do want to see me talk about that, let me know. And thanks for watching. I will see you next time. And for now, I am going to show you some art I got at AwesomeCon so that I don't have to end on 109 because I hate the number 9. Hold on. The camera froze. Give me a second. There we go. Look at that. It's the cast of P3. Let me take it out of here so you guys can get a better look. Look at that. Isn't that cool? They got everybody on here. Well, everybody except Matus, but, you know, main game party members. They got Shinjiro over here. My baby. I love him so much. And so this was made by a guy called Jerry Draws. Gerry Draws. So go check him out. His art is really cool. He said he made this in Illustrator entirely using shapes and layers. And it looks incredible. I have not been able to make anything like this in Illustrator. Oh boy. But yeah. That's all. Thanks for watching. Bye.